How much marriage evidence do I have to submit when I first file my immigration case? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Today in this video, we're talking about marriage-based green cards. It's one of our favorite topics, and we're talking specifically about the difference between what you file when you first submit your I-130 and I-45 petitions and what you bring to your interview. I was talking to someone on the Immigration Answer Show the other day, and they were very confused and they were very worried because they felt like they didn't have a lot of marriage evidence. They had only been married for a few months. They were getting ready to file their I-130. They didn't have a long history of living together as spouses, and they were wondering, Jim, is this case going to get denied? Am I going to get a request for evidence at the outset? Now, when you file your marriage-based green card case, you want to submit as much marital evidence as humanly possible. If you need a list of the types of evidence that we submit, you can go to hackinglawpractice.com/marital-evidence and download my free list of the types of marriage evidence that we submit. And that list is good for both when you first file and when you get ready for your interview. So those are the two main junctures where you're gathering evidence. Now, a lot of people will call up and they'll say, oh, I don't know, we don't have a lot of evidence and we don't have this big history together. That's just them being lazy. So don't be lazy. Do everything you can to submit as much evidence as you can, because if you do, especially these days, there's a chance if you file a strong enough case that you might not even get a green card interview. You might get your green card without an interview, and that's a great thing. If you can overwhelm them with marriage evidence and show them that you have this long history together, you've got a real good shot at getting approved for lawful permanent residence in the United States without an interview, and that's a great thing. Now, for most people though, they've only been married for a little while, and they might have a long history before they got married, but as spouses, they might have very little evidence. So, of course, you're going to submit lots of evidence of the relationship from even before the marriage. You want to show the long history of the couple, how you met, how you got along, how you decided to get married, why you're moving forward, how much you're in love, all those kinds of things. You want to submit all that evidence that you can at the very beginning. So that's the first thing. Don't be lazy and submit as much evidence as you can. Now, if you don't have a lot of evidence, that's okay. I still want you to meet that high standard of submitting everything that you can, but if you don't have as much as you'll have a year from now when you have your green card interview, everybody understands. And that's the great thing. If it's a marriage-based green card case and you do end up having an interview, you have that chance to bring lots of evidence to the interview. So what I want you to do is get a big bag or a big envelope or a big paper bag from the grocery store and keep it by your mailbox. Wherever you come in and sort your mail, keep whatever comes in that has either you or your spouse's name at that address. You can bring that stuff to your interview, you can organize it and copy it and bring it to the interview to show that you have good marriage evidence. You can also start doing things once you get your work card and your Social Security card. You can start opening that joint bank account. You can start opening all other kinds of accounts at the grocery store, on Netflix. You want to do everything you can to show that the two of you are living together in marital union at that address. Now, I had someone on the Immigration Answer Show the other day that actually made me think about this topic, and she had the completely wrong mindset. She kept saying, what can I get away with not submitting? Every question she asked me, and this lady had a lot of questions. Her name was Kim, and Kim had a question about everything on my list. She had downloaded the list and kept saying to me, what if I don't have this? What if I don't have that? And she was trying to get me to say, it's okay to not work that hard. I wasn't going to do that. Now, I understand that some things you can't get, but at the end of the day, I want you to go over that list that you can get at hackinglawpractice.com/marital-evidence. Download that list and then be very methodical, very purposeful, and go through one by one. What can I get? What could I get? Right? What if I did a little bit of work? If I updated my driver's license, if I went down and opened up that second bank account, if I went up and went to the grocery store and opened up a credit for my spouse and I so that we have invoices and bills, like our electric bills and our gas bills, all those things, putting those in both our names, knowing that we're only going to have a little bit at the beginning, but through the power of compounded time, if we have 12 months before our interview, we're going to have 12 months of records. And we're going to come in there with a big stack, and they're going to say, whoa, you guys must be serious. You have a lot of marriage evidence. This case looks strong to me. I'm going to approve that bad boy. And that's what we want. That's what we're talking about. We want to overwhelm them with documents. We want to default on giving them too much stuff. We want them to say to their fellow officer down the road, down the hall, you wouldn't believe how much evidence this sucker brought in today. That's what you want. You want that big, fat, thick file. That's what you want. when you go in there. And I once had a client bring 1,000 pieces of paper to their naturalization case. It was a 3-year marriage-based citizenship case, and they brought that much evidence. And the officer said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you brought me this much stuff. I'm going to review a lot of it. I'm not going to keep most of it, but I'm convinced that this marriage is real. I'm convinced that you and your husband are living together as spouses, and I'm going to prove this case." That's the mindset. That's what we want. That's what we want you to do. We want you to be that excited, that bountiful, that thorough of getting every single piece you can at the beginning, and then doing that on steroids when it comes time for your interview. Hope this makes sense. Hope you're thinking about filing a strong case. Hope you're not being lazy. If you have questions about this, if you want to hire our firm to help you through this process, this is one of our favorite kinds of cases: marriage-based cases, fiancé cases, overseas spouse cases. This is our bread and butter. This is what we do the most of, other than suing USCIS. We'd love to help you. 314-961-8200. Email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for free resources, get that download for sure, but also join us in our Facebook group. It's called Immigrant Home. We'd love to have you join us in there. We also have our free YouTube channel where we have hundreds and hundreds of immigration-related videos that you can find out all kinds of things about the immigration process. And then don't forget that 3 or 4 times a week, we're going live in our Immigration Answer Show on the YouTube channel and in the Facebook group. And we'd love to have you join us. You can ask me a question for free right there in front of the whole world on YouTube. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.